unbelievable swim. Oh, wow! Fishing in the Maldives just isn't the same anymore.
As for our trip, our guests have visited us more than once and have caught big tuna before. They specifically booked 6 or 8 days of fishing so that during that time they could find the trophy catch and land it. The biggest we caught there was about 30 kilograms, so nothing really large. But when we can catch big fish, we switch to jigging. We always manage to catch some kind of trophy fish with a jig. So what's the difference between jigging and popping? Jigging is vertical fishing, that is, all the lures are heavy, made of lead, and this is fishing in the water column. For example, we also jig for tuna in the ocean. Everyone asks, how much line should you let out? I say, here, 10 colors we use. Only colored line, some color is 10 meters. We count 10 colors. So we fish from 100 meters and raise the lure upward. We catch tuna in the water column. It's rare for them to be deeper than that. And the actual depth in the ocean where we fish is on average about 2 kilometers. We also fish at buoys. There are commercial buoys in the Maldives installed by the government. A concrete block like this is dropped to a depth of about 2 kilometers on average. 2.5 kilometers of strong rope, and the buoy floats on top. Plus, they also set up a net. So for pelagic fish, it's like an artificial island in the ocean. Small fish gather there, the current swirls a bit, and this attracts larger fish, and then even bigger ones.
Now the jig is dropping to the bottom. Let's start jigging. Up, 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 hard. Up, 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 hard. Got one.
Wow, is that a shark?
Rainbow Ranch. Got a shark aboard. Look.
Oh my gosh. Fishing like this is just awesome. It's simply flawless in the end. If we go out into the ocean, like I said, for tuna, we always catch some smaller ones. Well, small for me is up to 20 kilograms. Like I said, 15-20 kilograms is a real trophy for many people, because just try pulling that in yourself. It's a very intense strain. Jigging is the most productive type of fishing. That is, if you hold a competition by size of fish or by quantity, then of course jigging loses. With smaller fish though, you can catch up to 50 different species. You can write in the comments, I'm sure those watching me are also fans of sea fishing, who might be able to catch 50 species of fish in one casting session. But if we go casting along the reefs, yes, we'll catch many species of fish, but still not as many as with jigging. In other words, with jigging, you can cover everything.
mahi-mahi, we caught it. But what happened? It's nonsense. Over there. Champion footballer, ACCOMMODATION. Pulling it himself. The cameraman caught it. Oh, what is that? Oh. A very popular and delicious fish. This is a coral grouper. This is a coral trout. There are a lot of different species in the Maldives, just like in the Indian Ocean. The fish is quite aggressive, lively, and attacks the lure really well. Then there's jobfish, GT, rainbow runner, barracuda, and so on. So a lot. You can catch 50 species of fish with jigging. And these are corals. It's okay if someone doesn't like it. But very few people know how to fish near the reefs or inside the atoll where the channels flow in and out of the ocean. In these places, it's important to find the drop-offs and locate where the fish are feeding because the current is constantly changing with the ebb and flow of the tide. We picked the spot, found it, and immediately caught some large coral groupers there. We weighed them, they're 9 kilograms up to 10. That's already a real trophy for a coral grouper, a real trophy. But today, just don't pour him anymore. Peace. Let me tell you about the group. The group again, the group. What a really big group we have here. Come on, let's go, Uncle Yura. See how it happens? I told you to take the fishing rod. He grabbed it, damn. Oh man, what kind of huge thing is that? No, wait. I told the cameraman to take the fishing rod. When it hit his hand, damn. Now they're calmly reeling it in. Kids, caught it. Are you a kid specialist again? On the field, as always. Nonsense. Our cameraman Vlad caught some kids and then we let him go. He turned out to be a real professional. This is a good example. When people are beginners, like our cameraman, we handed him a spinning rod and he just caught a bunch of fish. He was satisfied even though he had never fished in his life. He always holds the camera on a tripod, filming professionally. Not a fisherman, not a fisherman. That's a really good indicator. Of course, it's a huge plus for us that he caught fish using his own technique. I mean, we showed him how everything works, but not every beginner can immediately grasp the jigging technique, and yet the fish still bite. That's amazing. And Vlad has too. Just wow. The cameraman has already forgotten about the camera. This hook got torn off. Let it go. Now I say, Vlad, your whole story just got harder. You're fishing with only one hook, and he still keeps catching them. This guy here, the one filming everything, has already forgotten about his camera. Now I'm filming him with my own camera. See how beautiful it is? This is a red bass, truly a trophy fish, and very delicious. Want the perfect vacation in the Maldives? I am Mikhail Karpovich, and since 2009, I have been professionally engaged in sea fishing. And for the past 3 years, I have been living here in the Maldives with my family. I have visited more than 30 hotels across the Maldives and organized vacations in 5-star, 5+, and luxury segment hotels. We provide the best service, starting from greeting guests at the airport to delivering the most professional and successful fishing experiences. Our guests are always satisfied with their vacation and return to the Maldives again and again. Message me on WhatsApp and I will tailor a vacation to your requests. And make sure to book your hotels in time, because the best dates get taken quickly. Opa. Oops. Opa. Oh, no boxes right now. Oh. There's a downside to jigging that's important to keep in mind. If we stop fishing at a depth of 30 or 40 meters and then begin to drift in areas where there are a lot of corals on the seafloor, we naturally encounter more snags. This happens because the abundance of coral increases the chances of our fishing lines getting caught. As a result, it is quite common for a lot of lures to get lost in these situations, which can be frustrating for anglers. And even if we fish on the drop-off outside the reef, that is in the ocean where the depth starts in average, you start fishing at 40 meters and go down to 200, there are still snags there. But we have a big advantage inside the atoll. We find banks and fish on those banks. We almost never have snags or lose lures there. There are also situations when you run into a school of small barracudas, they just snip everything off, cutting our lures like scissors. So if you come across barracudas, you look and bam, they've bitten off 2 lures already. And they don't even cut at the lure itself. When there's a school of barracudas, you'll see they just slice right through the line. Wherever their teeth hit, it's snip, 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 and that's it. Barracuda? Yes. These little beasts are the ones fighting. Oh, they're just cutting off our hooks. I've already had 2 bitten off. Barracuda is a very tasty fish when it's up to about 5 kilograms. Beyond that, its meat probably becomes more toxic. But the smaller ones, we caught a few small barracudas. I specifically kept them. And later we fried them with potatoes. It was really delicious. Upbeat music. The thing is, why did you tangle up my fishing line? Hey! I want to catch a fish too. What did you do, huh? By the way, comment on how at our age, it's really hard for fishermen to get their bearings. Look, Alexander is almost 70 years old. How is it even possible 70 years old? You can only envy that. Ooh. Still not a single catch. Fishing in the Maldives just isn't what it used to be.
We bring the fish, we catch home and clean it. A lot of my guests ask me, oh, Mikhail, can you vacuum freeze the fish so we can take it with us? For them, I vacuum pack the fish myself and give it to them as a gift. In an icebox, it easily makes it to any location within 24 to 48 hours and it doesn't even thaw. We do this for our guests because they are very dear to us, just as we are valuable to them in terms of their budget. You simply can't buy fish like this, even this kind of tuna, anywhere in Russia. It would all be imported, yes, but grouper it's just impossible to buy them. This is a very expensive fish. I would say is the most expensive fish in the world, called trout. That's why guests who take fish home, these are guests from various locations, starting from different European countries, with the main flow coming from Russia, Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan. They later write such reviews, they remember us again and want to come back. The Maldives is expensive. Fishing here costs like in the French Riviera, France or Monaco. The Maldives is a very remote location. All the islands are in the ocean. Life on the islands is possible, but let's say the main alternative for getting electricity is diesel generators. In other words, electricity is produced using diesel and everything is very expensive. One thing that is free in the Maldives is fish. That's a fact. Also, coconuts, bananas, mangoes, papayas and passion fruit grow well on the islands. Our trips to uninhabited islands are becoming really popular among guests, and sometimes in a single day we manage to catch a trophy tuna and catch fish by jigging. But a day means 8 hours, just so you understand, that's a very short period. Then we head out to an uninhabited island. We prepare pancakes and potato fritters in advance. If someone asks for fried potatoes with onions, we make that too. And of course we always grill. Let me tell you, freshly caught fish tuna steaks or reef fish grilled right after being caught, that's really something special. No hotel can prepare it as deliciously as that. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing is just a fact. And what could be better than gathering with friends on an uninhabited island in the Maldives to celebrate Maslanica after some amazing fishing trips, right? Celebrating the trophies we've all caught. So that's the kind of feast we've set up. Now the coals are ready, we'll grill some more fish and then make sashimi. And we'll spend the whole day somewhere far out in the ocean where it's quiet all around and simply paradise. This kind of trip to an uninhabited island is already a well-established service for us. So during our fishing trips, we spend these hours also visiting uninhabited islands, and each time it can be a new location. There are a lot of them around us. The Maldives, where I live, are the most untouched right now. There are more than 200 uninhabited islands in our atoll. Of course, little by little, some of them are being sold, some islands are being developed for hotels. Marinating. Here we take out the steak from a coral grouper like this. It's just like a fairy tale. Look, here's a life hack. Coconuts actually have many stages when they can be consumed. For example, when it's still completely green, the milk inside doesn't even have a sweet taste yet, right? Then it turns yellow and you can still chop it open. There's a lot of that milk, or rather coconut water, which is already a bit sweeter. And then the coconut fully ripens and falls to the ground dry. It falls and lies on the ground. If you shake it and hear liquid inside, that means there's still fluid, so it's ready to eat. After peeling, it has this shape inside. Well, it's a familiar shape we see in stores when we buy coconuts. The next stage is when it stays on the ground in this same natural state. And when you see a sprout starting to grow from it, these coconuts are collected and peeled. And inside, instead of milk and the flesh itself becomes thinner, the entire cavity of the coconut is full. Just imagine how healthy that is. It's like sprouted wheat, only it's sprouted coconut. And today we'll try it. You just hit it with the blunt side of the knife, and this part of the coconut, it's already gotten smaller, yes? This can also be eaten, of course. This is just amazing. Just imagine how much energy is contained in such a coconut. First to the table we have jobfish. Share something else. I myself love freediving and am friends with Laxey. If you don't know who that is, just Google the name. He's Russian. Our pride. This is a man who has already set more than 30 world records in freediving, who can hold his breath for 5 minutes while moving, and dives to depths of 130-150 meters. Alexei Molchanov set his latest record not far from the Bay of Villefranche, and I had the chance, together with my good friend from Monaco, to take him on board and talk with him. Afterwards, we had lunch together. I did a short interview with him. Since then, we've kept in touch and become friends. Since I love freediving, I can easily dive in a single breath down to 30 meters myself. I also have an international freediving certificate, so swimming down to 30 meters deep, that's like a 10-story building. If you look up, takes just 60 seconds both ways. In other words, 1 minute is enough to dive down to 30 meters and come back up. I really love spearfishing. I've been doing it for a very long time. It all started for me, of course, in the freshwaters of Belarus, where it's accessible and allowed around the early 2000s. My experience with sea spearfishing began in Turkey, in Alanya, where I started living in 2009, and there I went spearfishing a lot with the Turks. I usually dove to depths of 10 to 15 meters. I also had fins, and although they were carbon, they weren't as professional as the ones I have now. By the way, Alexei Molchanov's fins are, I would say, definitely among the best in the world. The second top brand, which I use, is C4, an Italian brand. In the water, you just feel like a fish. Spearfishing is actually completely prohibited. A lot of things are forbidden there, but those rules are often broken. I personally love to hunt. We go hunting. And if before I was somewhat afraid to talk about it, now I can say that in general no one really pays much attention to it, and if our guests want, we also offer this as a service. Although, to be honest, it's extremely rare. I don't publish or advertise it because, well, after all, there is a law. To say that the Maldives is not just about fishing, and according to my own statistics, it's a wonderful vacation in hotels that can be combined with fishing. I can't yet organize fishing in every hotel in the Maldives. That's just not realistic. The distance from south to north is 1,000 kilometers. In other words, it's absolutely impossible. A lot of people write to me and I get a lot of requests about fishing, but I always reply right away that at the moment I can organize fishing in 6 hotels. Starting this year, maybe a 7th hotel. I'll name the hotels where we organize fishing. These are Park Hyatt, Pullman, Mercure, Residence 2 hotels in One Plus, Faluma, Fushi and Zigura. Then there's the Aida Hotel, and the most top-tier luxury hotel near us is the Raffles Hotel. Now we're also establishing a partnership with the Robinson Hotel. And finally, I'd like to say that if you want to have a well-organized, awesome fishing trip with us, be sure to contact us in advance, because many dates are booked out even a year or 6 months ahead. Our condition for organizing fishing trips is that you must book the hotels through us. So I'll be happy to welcome everyone. Come visit, make your reservations. Thank you so much for watching my latest film. I hope I was able to share and convey a lot of information. I hope you watched it all the way through, because there was a lot of interesting stuff said in this film, not just about fishing,